You know, the refugee crisis has been like this is our generation's crisis to cope with the 90 million plus people looking for a home, and how interesting that was to see, you know, from a refugee who had come to Canada in '79, and now he's established the difference the prayer lines made. Tell us about Alberta's refugee response.
Well, you know, Lorna, out of the 25,000 Syrian refugees that Canada's bringing in, Alberta committed itself to help resettle 3,000. And of course, there's a bit of concern. And with all that's gone on within our community with the oil and gas, homelessness, I mean, people did share some concerns. When I was doing my program, Let's Talk, I opened it up to the province of Alberta to talk about their concerns and their feelings on it. And you know, it's amazing. There was, out of all the calls we had, there was one person that was maybe negative, but the other ones had an open heart towards saying, basically what Jesus said in Matthew, you know, if you're a stranger, we've got to bring you in and help. It's interesting that Lorna, I've talked to a couple of people, and one of the ladies, I want to make sure I get this right, her name is Anush Newman, and she's the Syrian Refugee Task Force Coordinator for Calgary. They asked her, they said, how are Calgarians responding? She said, we are extremely overwhelmed with the generosity of people coming forward.
Oh, isn't that great? Overwhelmed with generosity. It's, you know, we're learning these lessons of what it's going to mean to historically care again. There's a great article that Melissa, our executive producer, pulled on Germany for us. They realized took in 50 times the number that Canada took in. They took in 1.1 million, the Germans did. And what's happened now is the Berlin church, the Bishop of Berlin, has been really understanding we've got to be on the leading edge of fear-mongering over the safety and security concerns, because these are well-screened immigrants. And what he's done is they've started a movement which is called the Refugee Church in Berlin, where volunteers you know, can collaborate, and refugees of all kinds can come across. And he says this is a time for us to remind, what does Christianity do? Just like you heard Waldo with Cheryl, here was, what does Christianity do? It's got a phone service available for refugees to talk, to be encouraged, to be prayed for. And how wonderful to hear that that whole family has met Jesus Christ because of what started on a warm, caring prayer call here at 100 Huntley Street.
You know, there are various communities that are involved in helping, but they say that the church community, the faith-based community, especially in Alberta, the Mennonite community, have done incredible things in opening their hearts to help refugees. But the government's saying faith-based people are leading the charge. Because
they have a built-in social safety net. And I've done some work with the non-faith-based groups. And what we're finding is that they are copying, trying to figure out how can we put that same care team around them, because when it's a government-sponsored refugee, they just land here and there's no safety net around them. They give them a check, they found them an apartment, but when there's actually a church community, a safety net. And so we just, chip in. I know all of our communities are taking care of refugees, and we'll tell more of those stories, but that's part of the role of 100 Huntley Street, is to model, when the world is in a crisis, like the refugee crisis, we are to model what it means to love and to open our homes, our families, our resources to care for homeless people that may be refugees. So build a national voice, build a Christian response to global issues. You do that when you support 100 Huntley Street. That's why this legacy program is here for the nation to speak, teach, model, grow Christian thought in this land. Give us a call to support us at this, our fiscal year end, 1-888-288-0003. Give online at 100huntley.com.